Ladies and gentlemen, my heart goes out to these meat plant workers. They did try to strike because so many of them were getting sick and a few of them had died from coronavirus. And that's when Trump signed the executive order forcing them back to work. Well, the conditions have never improved for these workers. In fact, things have gotten worse. I feel sorry for these people. No president should be forcing you on a job when it's unsafe by an executive order. These people have families, they got children, grandchildren, their husbands, their wives, they have loved ones they're looking after, and you are putting them in a situation where not only are they going to get sick, but they're going to bring illness home to their families. And that's just not right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this came out in Forbes, July 30th, 2020. Over 10,000 Tyson employees reportedly test positive for COVID. That's outrageous. And see, these folks were trying to do something about this early on. Tyson and all of these meat packing plants are not keeping these people safe. And see, this is why somebody like Mitch McConnell want to set in place stipulations where you can't sue an employer if you get sick and it came from the job. He doesn't want you to have that ability to sue. Well, that should not be taken away from the employees. That shouldn't be taken away from no citizen. If you feel like your place of employment caused a harm to you, you should be able to sue. Period. But some rich guy sitting in the Senate, he shouldn't be, he shouldn't have that kind of authority over the people in America like that. Boy, this place is screwed up. And the people running it are even more screwed up. Over 10,000 Tyson Food meat processing employees have contracted COVID-19 since the pandemic began, according to a study by the Food and Environment Reporting Network, which was released today as the company announced it would implement weekly COVID-19 testing at a number of plants. At least 49,369 U.S. meatpacking, food processing, and farm workers have contracted COVID-19 since March 10th. So 10,104 of whom were meat packers at Tyson Food, according to the July 30th report by the firm. Also, July 30th, Tyson Food announced they would hire a chief medical officer, 200 nurses, and implement weekly COVID-19 testing for employees in 140 meat production factories. The second quarter revenue dropped 15% for the meat giant, whose brand include Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farm, and Sara Lee. While the protective measures they've implemented in the facilities are working, we are vigilant about keeping our team members safe and are always evaluating ways to do more. With 10,000 people with it, how are you keeping them safe? Wow. Donnie King, Tyson Food Group president and chief administrative officer, said in the announcement other meatpacking companies, JBS and Smithfield Food, have 2,000 plus workers who have tested positive for COVID-19. Wow. So 100,000, that's roughly the number of Tyson Food employees, according to CNN. And out of that 100,000, 10,000 got it. Wow. In April, Tyson said that millions of pounds of meat will disappear from grocery store shelves with closure of meat processing facilities due to COVID-19 outbreaks among workers. At that point, Tyson employees told CNN that they were being pressured to come back to work, though they did not feel working conditions were safe. I bet you they still feel that way. I bet you they do. On April 16th, Smithfield Foods meat processing plants in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, became the largest COVID-19 hotspot in the U.S. with 735 COVID cases among workers, according to Forbes. Just understand, somebody like Trump signing an executive order when these folks were in fear of getting sick, to me, that was wrong. I know people, like to get their meat, but at what cost? You got people with coronavirus handling your meat, and you can't tell me the meat is not impacted by that. It would have to be. But y'all, tell me what you think. I just think this is a very cruel thing to do to these people. If 10,000 workers got it, you're not resolving anything at these plants. And they said they are sanitizing, on a regular basis, but, you know, COVID is airborne. You can sanitize until your arms fall off. And all it takes is one person to come in there. And in this case, if 10,000 people got it, more, plenty of people been walking in there with it, and start spreading it among the workers. And just count, those workers are now taking it home to their families. But it kind of gives you a roadmap on a couple of things. Number one, it'll show you, this is showing you, if everybody returns back to work, exactly what's going to happen. And number two, you can now understand why. This is another reason why COVID is exploding in the country, because many of these essential workers have been exposed. It's not that they are inherently getting it a lot, they are exposed a lot. They are constantly around each other. They are constantly, they can't be too far apart when they're working. And when you look at this picture, you see some of them with masks on, but they're not that far apart when they're working. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I think this is horrible. 10,000. And just imagine how high that number is going to be in the fall. This is still summer. And I'm telling you, y'all, I believe this is going to get far worse when fall comes. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.